Who's there?
Good day.
My sister, you're welcome. Your baby of the other day has grown big and healthy. What's the secret?
As soon as he was 6 months, I started giving him 4-star meal. It's important. Do not joke with it.
What's 4-star meal?
4-star meal contains 5 different food. First, food from animals, e.g. meat, fish and milk. Food from legumes like beans, carbohydrate like akamu, rice, yam, etc. Vitamins and minerals like vegetable and fruits, fats and oil like palm oil. All this in addition to breastfeed from 6 months until the child is 2 years old.
A well-fed child resists sicknesses and becomes a blessing to the family.
This message is brought to you by the Delta State Ministry of Information in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF.
You're welcome back. It's still the program, Your Health, and we're looking at today eating well during pregnancy and adolescence.
Pregnancy is one of the most vital and sensitive periods in the life of a woman. At this stage of life, experts recommend that expectant mothers choose a variety of healthy foods and beverages to provide the important nutrients a baby needs for growth and development. As the body of a pregnant woman gets ready for the fetus development and the breastfeeding process, the womb tissues and the placenta are developing and the blood supply increases. That's why certain foods should be consumed sparingly while others should be avoided completely. For instance, high mercury fish such as swordfish and king mackerel, commonly found in polluted water, can be toxic to the nervous system, immune system, and kidneys, which could in turn cause serious developmental problems in children. Undercooked or raw fish or meat, especially shellfish, increases the risk of infection from several bacteria or parasites, which could threaten the health of the unborn baby. Unpasteurized milk, egg, cheese, and fruit juice can cause an array of harmful bacteria which could affect the baby. Too much intake of caffeine restricts fetal growth and increases the risk of low birth weight at delivery. Too much animal-based vitamin A causes vitamin A toxicity as well as abnormally high copper levels, which can result in birth defects and liver toxicity. Processed junk foods are generally low in nutrients and high in calories, sugar, and added fats. Alcohol increases the risk of miscarriage and stillbirth, while the baby's brain development could be impacted negatively. Alcohol could cause fetal alcohol syndrome, which involves facial deformities, heart defects, and intellectual disability, hence should be avoided completely. Eating well during pregnancy entails eating foods that your baby needs, bearing in mind that what a woman eats and drinks during pregnancy is her baby's main source of nourishment. In order to get the needed nutrients, pregnant women are expected to take more protein, calcium, folic acid, and iron-rich foods and supplements, as the development of the fetus is dependent on the nutrients in their mother's body. Folic acid helps prevent birth defects in the brain and spinal cord of a baby. A pregnant woman is growing a family inside her, therefore there are essential tips to bear in mind. Eat regular meals throughout the day, combining the various kinds of foods and food groups including vegetables, lean protein, whole grains, and dairy products. Eat smaller amounts of foods more often. This is because customizing the quantity and quality required for a pregnant woman is dependent on her age, physical activity, height, weight, and health status. Drink a lot of water, as water prevents dehydration, reduces the risk of fetus injury, and helps develop early contractions. Eat dietary fiber-rich foods, as they assist in regulating the digestive tract activity and beneficial for the prevention of chronic ailments. And lastly, always use the information on the food label. Read the food label, which contains important information concerning the food content, manner of its storage, and its usage during pregnancy. Pay attention to ingredients list, nutritional value in the food packaging, and choose according to recommendation. Healthy diet during pregnancy can be achieved with the foods available to you. It is not about cutting down the quantity of food you eat. Rather, it is about making better informed food choices. Remember, healthy pregnancy brings about healthy baby.
Good day. Welcome to Your Health. Your Health is a program platform that helps you manage your health, bring you accessible treatment to your doorstep, and give you the best of professionals who give you access to management. On our platform today, we'll be introducing you to our first series. It is a sponsored 13 weeks in collaboration with the UNICEF and of course the Ministry of Information Delta State. Starting off today, we'll be bringing you a package managing you on how to take care of yourself on different series of topics. Okay, today we'll be looking at eating well during pregnancy and adolescence, and our resource person in the house today is dietitian Odo Chris Santos Chukwemeka. He is from the Federal Medical Center Asaba and is a representative of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria Delta State chapter in the Delta State Committee on Food and Nutrition, SCFN. Meet my guest. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
All right, good day. Your name alone sounds like a flower. Where your meal? Are you a footballer too?
I might be a footballer. It might stand for anything, but I know my name it cuts across many regions. Okay. And I'm even happy that you're able to pronounce it very well. Okay. Because there are some people that when they see the name, they'll begin to mutilate it. But I commend you.
You're owing me $10 for good pronunciation.
Yes,
okay, now let's get back to our topic: eating well during pregnancy and adolescence. 3 things are here. Eating well is 1. Then you need to eat well during pregnancy, 2, and during adolescence. So let's take it first: pregnancy and who is adolescent.
Okay. Pregnancy, we already know that a woman that is carrying a fetus, is somebody that will say is pregnant. Okay. Then when we talk about adolescent. But before I go into adolescent, I'll commend UNICEF and the Ministry of Information for this laudable project, because it's a way of educating the masses, educating Delta State, and even beyond. And I still want to commend UNICEF for all the laudable projects they are doing in Delta State, vis-a-vis maternal, neonatal, child and adolescent health. Their project cuts across all those stages. Now, talking about adolescent, simply those within the age range of 10 to 19 years. Normally, we have what we call early adolescent and late adolescent. When we talk about early adolescent, we are talking about those between the age of 10 to 14 years. Then late adolescent, 15 to 19 years.
Okay, so now viewers out there and listeners, now you know who the adolescent is and who with the 2 phases, the early adolescent and the late adolescent. Okay, now let's go in. Why do these 2 phases of human life need to eat well? Because you said we're looking at eating well during pregnancy and adolescent. These 2 are not the only phase of life. Beyond the adolescent, there is another phase. But why are we picking those 2?
Thank you for the question. Why we are picking the 2 is simply because, yes, eating well during pregnancy is very important. Eating well during adolescence is very important. Then another thing is that as far as growth and development is concerned, it starts with the pregnancy stage, that is in utero, when the baby is still in the womb. Yes, that is the first stage of growth and development. Then the last stage of growth is during the adolescence.
Okay, now
So
get
if
it.
we are able to at least
Manage during development,
handle it very well during the developmental
pregnancy
stage, yes,
and the adolescence.
then when the child or adolescent is ending his or her growth stage, then we'll clap for ourselves, we are doing well as far as nutrition is concerned for the theta state and even beyond.
Okay. Now, when we talk about eating well, what kind of food constitute the meal that will classify as being eaten well? Or what food will you certify if I keep as variety of what I want to eat now? What will you as a dietitian classify as eating well?
Okay, that's a nice question. But before we talk about eating well, we need to know what is food first.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, and in a nutshell, food is anything, whether solid or liquid, that we eat to get the nutrients and maybe the non-nutrients content of it. When we talk about nutrients, literally sometimes we say classes of food, and when we begin to list them, we are talking about classes of nutrients. So classes of nutrients, we have our carbohydrates, we get it from our food. We have our protein, we get it from our food. Protein is for growth and body repair and maintenance. Then we have our fats, which is more for energy. Then vitamins and minerals, then water. That's the 6 classes of nutrients. Then when we talk about classes of food, it's a different ball game. We are talking about cereals, cereal group, where we have rice and other cereal, millet and maize. Then we have our starchy roots and tubers. We have our tomato, our potato, we have our yam, and a lot of them. Then we have our nuts, we have our fruits and vegetables. When we are talking about eating well, it simply means that yes, for my age and for your age, for that woman that is pregnant, what is eating is adequate and is balanced for her stage. For that adolescent, what she or he is eating is adequate and balanced. Because sometimes we'll be using the term balanced diet or balanced nutrition. It doesn't solve it. Now we are talking about adequate diet. It means that for my age, for my sex, so for that woman that is pregnant, her nutrient requirement for eating requirement is far, far different from a woman that is not pregnant. You remember that she's carrying a baby in the womb, maybe 1 or 2, or even more than 2. So she is supposed to be eating well, so that yes, the baby, because we already said that growth starts from the womb, in utero, so that the first foundation of life starts from the womb. So if there is any nutritional error in that womb, then there's a problem. So when we talk about eating well, it means that it is adequate for that woman that is pregnant, and it is balanced. Adequate in terms of calorie, adequate in terms of all the classes of food that I've mentioned. Then when we talk about balance, all the nutrients are there, so nothing is missing.
All the nutrients and development starts from the womb. Okay, now let's look specifically, what should a pregnant woman eat while she's pregnant? Because you've talked that she needs to eat for her stage, because she's carrying another life.
Yes.
So let's look at the specific foods that she needs to intake during this stage.
All right, thank you very much. That's a nice question. For a pregnant woman, we have a standing rule as far as eating healthy is concerned. Now we are going to discuss this based on, yes, the food aspect of it.
Yes.
Then we are still going to discuss the non-food aspect of it, because there are some factors.
Okay, so there is a food aspect and
yes,
there is a non-food aspect.
Yes. So when we talk about the food aspect, we are talking about, yes, the food has to be adequate, has to be balanced. Then the calorie, that's the energy, has to be okay for the mother. Then there is diversity. I've mentioned the classes of food. The mother has to touch different classes of that food. Then exercise is important. We cannot do without exercise. So starting with the protein, because we always emphasize on the protein. There's always the need that mothers eat food that contain either protein. Yes, plant protein or animal protein. When we talk about plant protein, we are talking about the legumes and the beans, the animal protein, the meat and the fish. So the mother needs a healthy protein because the baby is growing, development is occurring or is taking place in the womb. Then the energy intake is another thing. The energy intake has to be adequate. In the first 3 months, the energy intake is more like when she's not even pregnant. Then the second 3 months, what we call second trimester, then the third trimester, the energy intake is increasing. Then the vitamins and minerals which are gotten from the fruits and vegetables. Because we always find out that, yes, some of us, we don't eat fruits very well, or we don't eat vegetables. Sometimes we eat fruits once in a week. We just buy like 15 naira or 100 naira we eat. Yes, so they need adequate intake of fruits and vegetables, and they can even use fruit and vegetable as part of snacks. We have what we call our food triangle for the pregnant woman. In the food triangle, we have our starchy roots and tubers, which is going to select maybe the rice. It's going to select rice. We have our fruits, which she can select fruit, maybe orange. We have our vegetable, maybe ugu, that she will use to make the stew. Then up we have our legume and meat. So that one is giving protein. So you're supposed to select them. So maybe a plate of rice, there is vegetable there. Then there is beans, which is giving what? The protein. Even if the woman is financially incapacitated to buy meat, she
So
can
I'm
buy
going to ask
fish.
you in this economic situation.
Yes. That's why I'm cutting across. I had to balance it. Yes. Then there is a space for dairy, because as far as a pregnant woman is concerned, there is need for adequate intake of calcium. Calcium. So you can get it from the milk or the yogurt or low-fat milk. So because the reason is very important, because as far as the fetus is concerned, it depends on the mother for that calcium. So if the mother is not getting enough calcium, the baby will be parasiting the mother. It will be taken from the one that the mother stored.
But if she eats
if he
enough,
eats well, yes. So and if he doesn't eat well, then later in life, the problem of osteoporosis, that's bone problem, will begin to occur. Maybe when the woman is getting old. So that's why it's always important that you take enough calcium. Then iron is very important.
Okay, we'll dwell so much on the pregnant woman. Let's quickly run through the adolescent.
Okay. Intake of iron. Because a lot of iron is being lost during menstruation. And sometimes the adolescents are not eating enough food that contain iron. And equally calcium. And the energy intake has to be balanced so that they will avoid or they will not be prone to obesity. Because if you look around, you see some adolescents that are very obese, they are very overweight. Then looking the left way, you see those that are very lean.
Underweight.
So it's a two-way thing. So they
there
need to
should be
eat
a
with
balance.
a balance, yes. And that's where we talk about calorie control. Then iron is important, calcium is important, exercise is important. And our family has to play a role, because if you don't tell your daughter how to prepare a healthy meal, she will not, and she will carry it to adulthood. And yes, it's transferred to the children, and the generation continue to eat poorly prepared meal. So it starts from home. Whatever you cook, make sure it's balanced so that yes, that your children, yes, they are going to.
Who's there?
Good day.
My sister, you're welcome. Your baby of the other day has grown big and healthy. What's the secret?
As soon as he was 6 months, I started giving him 4-star meal O. It's important. Do not joke with it.
What's 4-star meal?
4-star meal contains 5 different food. First, food from animals, e.g. meat, fish and milk. Food from legumes like beans, carbohydrate like akamu, rice, yam, etc. Vitamins and minerals like vegetable and fruits, fats and oil like palm oil. All this in addition to breastfeed from 6 months until the child is 2 years old.
A well-fed child resists sicknesses and becomes a blessing to the family.
This message is brought to you by the Delta State Ministry of Information in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF.
I would advise them to ensure they take their normal fruits and vegetables. For instance, pumpkin leaf, which is not expensive. For instance, if you go into the market now, you can get pumpkin leaf of about 3 for 100 naira. They sell it for 3 for 100 and one can go for 50. But if you bargain with the seller, they can sell for 3 for 100. Then it's a normal spinach, we call green leafy vegetables of good benefit. Then your carrots, cucumber, cabbage, watermelon, all your normal regular fruits should be of good consideration. Then before you now think of your regular drugs, then outside that, when you are eating something like rice, you should add some portions of vegetable or cabbage to it, or even carrots. That will make it healthy for you. Then you can also incorporate things like Quaker oats. Then that will ensure that you can watch the level of sugar intake into the system. For instance now, for diabetic patients, they usually advise them to take things like Quaker oats, plantain flour. But as a pregnant woman, it's also necessary for you to incorporate that into your daily intake. That will ensure and control the regular intake of sugary substance, contain it and help to manage that.
The person should eat well. The person should eat well to enable the person to be healthy and the child to be healthy. Even all those things, they teach them in the hospital. When you go to hospital, they will teach you how to eat very well. Even take food, more of food. Eat good food that will make you, in short, take balanced diet that will make you to look healthy and the baby will still look fine. When you are eating well, it still make the baby to look healthy, will not have any problem when you
having enough rest, enough fruit and vegetables.
Even if the food, maybe before you got pregnant, maybe that food is not what you like. But pregnancy is a funny condition that are things they are addicted to. You only want to eat that thing on and on. That people are addicted to alcohol. Maybe before pregnancy, they don't want alcohol, but when they are pregnant, taking alcohol. On that I believe they will stop it. So that is not the body system at that period. So that period, you get used to your normal food.
All right, thank you very much, dietitian Udo Christensen Chukwuemeka, who is a dietitian with the Federal Medical Center here in Asaba, representing the Nutrition Society of Nigeria Delta State Chapter, and also on the Committee on Food and Nutrition, SCFN. This is where we roll it off for the talk on eating well during pregnancy and adolescence. A lot you have to take from today. You need to eat well, not just a balanced diet, but know what comprises the kind of food you eat. Eat well for your own level. If you're pregnant, you need to eat for more than 2. If you're an adolescent, you need to cut out the carbs on a lot of snacking and eat appropriately, especially the girl child. Like the dietitian has said here, we need to prepare the girl child because she is the one who revolves into the society in continuation of life development. I will say thank you to the Ministry of Information and UNICEF who enabled us to do this. More will come on the platform. Stay.
Who's there?
Good day.
My sister, you're welcome. Your baby of the other day has grown big and healthy. What's the secret?
As soon as he was 6 months, I started giving him 4-star meal O. It's important. Do not joke with it.
What's 4-star meal?
4-star meal contains 5 different food. First, food from animals, e.g. meat, fish and milk. Food from legumes like beans, carbohydrate like akamu, rice, yam, etc. Vitamins and minerals like vegetable and fruits, fats and oil like palm oil. All this in addition to breastfeed from 6 months until the child is 2 years old.
A well-fed child resists sicknesses and becomes a blessing to the family.
This message is brought to you by the Delta State Ministry of Information in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF.